From the islands and swamps to the mountains and valleys, fishing, hiking, and everything in between, Inspiring Wilderness Adventures is a channel dedicated to inspiring wilderness adventures. We spent 3 months of this past winter living in upstate South Carolina, in a previously unheard of town called Greenwood. When you'd tell people you live in Greenwood, they'd say, "Oh, Greenville?" And we'd have to say, "Oh, no, Greenwood." Greenville is a proper metropolitan area, and it doesn't take long to realize that a lot of the development is from the last 10 to 20 years. The old small town South charm still lingers though, most evident in the true locals rather than in the architecture. Greenwood is much smaller and way sleepier of a town. Although just 45 minutes south of Greenville, it is still predominantly old school, and that worked for us. Life is simpler, which makes it easy to focus on the things you really want to make time for. At Inspiring Wilderness, it's no shocker that we like to spend our time outdoors. When we originally looked at spending time in South Carolina, we mostly looked at the coast. But if you've seen my other videos, you know I have a Gheenoe and want to put that thing in the water as much as possible. And the SC Low Country is famous for its redfish, my favorite fish to target.
Look at all this devastation still here from Helene. Crazy. Cemeteries from 1700s. Hike down from the cemetery to this body of water I found that I don't think too many people are fishing, especially not on this side. Look what I found. I'm not gonna step on this, looks like it hasn't been used in a while. Don't need a broken leg. Not this early.
Ending up 3 hours away in the upstate though turned out to be a blessing in disguise. There were still plenty of redfish, and we were now in a position of having both the mountains and the ocean within a day's drive, something that's very hard to come by in the US. Adventure-wise, we sent it as much and as often as we could, and Greenwood was an excellent launching pad for that. We're always happy to offer suggestions to travelers and locals, and we'll do so in this video. Check out other Inspiring Wilderness videos from the region for more specific dives into some of the coolest places.
Today was one of those days where, it's 36 degrees and raining outside. It's all nice and warm inside. Had a ton of work I was doing. But even if you work 10, 12 hours a day, everybody takes downtime, and it felt so much easier to just, stay inside all warm, watch some reruns of the same thing I've watched a million times. But then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put the effort in, I'm gonna prepare my stuff, and I'm gonna get out there. And I'll tell you, there's not that many things in life that you bat 1,000 on that every single time it holds true. There's been a few exceptions, maybe when you send it too hard and there's a catastrophe and you pay the consequences, but we're talking about less than 1%. The rest of the time is always worth it to get outside, get your feet moving, and go see something new. Here's the Long Cane Bridge deep in the Sumter National Forest. Been on some back roads there for a while, and man, we love those back roads. They leave you to places where you're completely by yourself. I'm gonna go fish that river now in a little bit, just always doing a little bit of due diligence, gotta just mark spots off. Obviously can't keep driving this way, but did walk the bridge, super cool. Yeah, there's endless adventures around here, endless.
There's a bunch.
The South is the South. To try and summarize every observation made would never do justice. To attempt to present those observations as holistic, as someone who is not raised in the South, would not do justice either. The conclusions reached can only be presented being boots on ground for 3 months, day in and day out. While time stands still for these structures, the world has moved on, and the life that filled them is long gone, now merely overgrowth and decay. I photographed these buildings to capture the essence of the South, the essence of all the aforementioned and the history that lead to today.
Well, the east was settled first, and the southeast was the first, right? There's a lot of towns just around me that have been here since the mid 1700s and settled since the late 1700s. A lot of the houses are a couple hundred years old, and you know, the back roads are still there. If I wanted to spend one day exploring every back road in South Carolina, it would take I don't know how many lifetimes, because I was surprised by how endless it is, especially in Sumter National Forest, and that's the whole area we're in, and you can really get lost for sure. But I'd only imagine that Montana is just on a much more crazy scale, and to say I'm excited is an understatement. Let's just, you know, take it one step at a time. Got a few days left here, gonna make the most of them. Let's see what we get.
Uh-oh, I put 2 baits out. And I got 2 fish. Oh, lunker. And that's a cat. That's a nice cat. Wow. Lunker. Oh, buddy. I think we found ourselves a new secret spot. That's all we needed. Straight from work, all aboard, nice, smooth as butter.
South Carolina is a naturally beautiful place with an equally beautiful population. You will find some of the nicest, most genuinely warm people. And despite all the stereotypes of the contrary, I only observe positive interactions every single day.
Real quick, you can do it. I think I got him. Nice. Look at that. We're on the board, baby.
Just biked / hiked up that hill. I know with the color contours around here, you can't really tell the difference in elevation, but maybe I'm about to show you. See as long as I can hang on to the camera for. I forgot my GoPro, so I'm gonna hang on to my phone case with my teeth and see if I can get the whole ride down, just to show how long it is. I mean, I think it's gonna take a couple minutes at least. Hands on the brakes, but letting it rip when we can. Let's do it, baby.
The forests are seemingly endless, and you never run out of new woods to explore. You never know what you're gonna find in those woods either. All for the sake of it being on camera, right? It's interesting navigating around all these sticks and stumps, and everything's different shades of brown. When you're skiing, everything's different shades of icy white. When you're in the Everglades, everything's shades of green.
Anyone? No? No one's moving? So we're stuck here. Because this is what it's all about. Being outside, being free, getting the sun, being by the water, and enjoying life every day.
Though many locals hunt, it is still very possible to successfully DIY on public land. We took it to the down home, old school diner in Whitmire, and they cooked it right up for us on the spot, like we were family. Looks like that tree burned to its core. I wonder if it got hit by lightning. Also, it's spring here. So, compared from just 3 or 4 weeks ago when everything was brown and gray, as you can see, everything is green, full of life. I don't know if you can see the white flowers on that tree. Depending on the area you go, you'll see more colors than are on the spectrum. And coming from Miami, this is the first time, because I've lived in New York and lived in Tallahassee, but this is the first time I've really seen sprung. Cost of living is at least half of what it is in Miami. We rented a brand new 2,300 square foot 3-2 home with a yard and a double garage for $2,000 a month.
On the road again.
One false step, not good. All right, we're back. Oh.
One really cool thing about living in South Carolina's upstate was access to all these new bodies of water to explore and learn how to fish. One of those bodies of water, if you saw the video I made about it, is Lake Jocassee. It's a Nat Geo Top 100 global site, so it's definitely worth checking out. But it's connected to two other lakes which are also beautiful in their own right, also hundreds of feet deep and surrounded by mountains. Lake Gheenoe and then Lake Hartwell south of it. Lake Hartwell is less mountainous but still beautiful terrain.
No. You see?
You lost it? Oh. Oh no.
Man, that was a nice fish. Oh, a nice white bass. That's a nice white bass.
Cool.
Sick. Oh no, babe, that's a hybrid striper, a new species. Whew.
Wow.
Sick. I think it's either a striper or a hybrid striper. Sick.
We Gucci, man.
Sight casted him. How sick was that? Oh man, phenomenal bite.
It's a big fish. Lunker patrol. Lunker patrol. You saw him? Oh, we got him.
Oh. Nice.
Steak.
If you have the flexibility to work from somewhere like this, you end up wondering what the hell you were doing living in a big city. Essentially just getting robbed to live. And all the while having to deal with more traffic and crazy people. The amount of road running and water cruising we did in just those 3 months allowed us to cover most every corner of the state and the nearby areas in Georgia and North Carolina. Tennessee and Kentucky weren't that far away either. If you want more insight on visiting the region, I can definitely point you in the right direction. Just ask here or on Instagram.